Ruski's Crypto Cave. We're out in the shed. It's getting a little warm out. It is 81 degrees outside. Intake is at 91. Exhaust side is sitting at 100. That's at that guy right there. 98. That thermometer. Pulling out the phone to see what the temps are in the Govee temperature adapters. See what we got here. So the exhaust side up is 107. The roof peak is 104. Intake side, which is that guy right there, is 88, just about 89. Top shelf sitting at 102. Middle shelf is at 101. That will probably get into that part later with the 3080s. And Octominers right there is at 92. And you can see you can hear the Octominer fans are kind of running pretty hot. Some of them are cranking a little bit, some are still around 30% or so. So it's not too bad, but overall though, fans aren't, I can still have plenty of room to crank the fans. I think they're at 6 right now. So I can still crank them up a good bit. So I definitely have some headroom as far as that goes. The S19J Pro Plus is still off. And the K Pro and the 104 are still running. That's running at the lowest power setting I could set at. I think it's running around 1500 watts, pulling 65 to 70 terahash. The K Pro is still set at 110. And some other things we'll get into. I'll pull up the website, but it looks like the difficulty adjustment for tomorrow is going to be a decent drop, like 5-6% decrease. So that should help some miners out as far as getting a little bit better yield. I don't know, it's probably not going to be enough to turn that thing back on, but it is what it is. So, but for now, I'm still going to let those two still running. I'm impressed how efficient that Brains can get that S19J 104. That is actually pretty damn good. Efficiency is on par with the K Pro, just at a much lower hash rate. But anyway, with the I did switch the 3080s over to Neoxa for a little bit, going to Unmineable, but the power usage was a good bit higher, and I'm not sure exactly which card it is. So like you can see in here, there's some little labels that when I did some of them I did copper plates, I just repatted them and all that fun stuff and put the thermal pads on. Most of them had the GPU risers, or I can't think of the other brand, but I got them off Amazon. They weren't cheap, and they were pretty good quality ones. But but some of them are also copper plated. But there is one or two that aren't. It's GPU 2 in MMPOS, but I have no idea which one of those equates to GPU 2. So, but yeah, that was overheating, and that was getting up to like close to the 80s. So I was like, yep, got to switch back. So that's back on Pyrin right now. Pretty much, mostly everything's pretty much the same as far as 2080s are on Dynex to Unmineable. The 13070 rig is still solo mining Meowcoin. Not for much longer. 3 more blocks, and I'll be a Meowcoin millionaire. So that will get switched off to probably Pyrin to Unmineable to get more Neoxa. And then 3060 Ti's are on Dynex to Unmineable. What the hell else? Probably about it. We'll see when we go inside. But I did actually try the one 3070 rig on Neoxa as well, but the overclocks that I was using kept on crashing the rig, so I was like, yeah, screw this, I'm just going back to Pyrin. So I went back to Pyrin. KS2 is still hashing away. The power and the breakers. This one's been fluctuating a good bit, but overall, still looking good. But as the fans ramp up in speed, it's also drawing more power, so that's why most of the Octominers were on the red breakers, so that's why that has jumped up substantially. Flag fell down. I gotta get a better thing to hang it on with these eyelets, so I can actually like maybe screw it to a door or something like that. So I just had it taped up there, which is just half-assed. So now I noticed that Gobi light, that little blue light's on, which it wasn't on before. It was acting up, trying to. Things are cool the way they work, but sometimes they're not as reliable as I would like to be. Like sometimes they're supposed to be on Wi-Fi, that I can check the temperature, say if I'm at work or something like that. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. One of the troubleshooting things says there's to disconnect them and repair them again. I haven't done that yet. Other different things to worry about first, but yeah, basically just first, not really the first, but like second, third, first hot day that I was off, and I actually had the opportunity to record just to see how the shed was doing as far as temperature wise. So we're gonna have a few warm days this week. Summer is coming. I think the isolation of the ASICs and stuff was good. Probably wouldn't even hurt. They'd probably even move that KS2 down to this little box, and that will probably even help more with the shed temps, especially with the up in the roof peak and the higher up, just because that is just blowing the heat out, and the exhaust fans don't exhaust it quick enough, and it's just going to rise and get recirculated back in. But so I may do that. But I'm going to wait until Thursday. I'm going to mess around with some numbers after the difficulty adjustment just to see if it would be worth turning that thing back on. I'm thinking it's not going to be, but we'll see. So until then, I'm going to leave that one where it's at. But if it's not worth turning the J Pro Plus back on, I'm probably going to move the KS2 down to that little ASIC box thing that I built and exhaust that air right out of the shed, so it doesn't recirculate inside, and maybe that will help drop the temps when it gets even warmer in here. The iBlink BMK3 is still not profitable. Neither is the Mini Doge or the KD box. Those will either be giveaways or I'll sell them in a bull run or something like that to recoup some cash. But anyway, we'll go inside and hop on the computer, check out the temps of the rigs and the fan speeds and all that stuff and see how they're doing. Overall, filters are allowing airflow. There's a decent amount of airflow coming through here. They're all MERV 4. You still see through them, which is alright, which is good because the pollen is bad right now. I got them cutting the grass. I don't know if I'm developing an allergy to pollen and grass and whatnot, but couldn't stop sneezing and nose was running, eyes were itchy, whole 9 yards. So, never bothered me before, but now all of a sudden it is. Sucks getting old. But anyway, heading out, getting out of the shed. We'll see you back inside in the computer. Alrighty, we're back in the house here, and you can see we're in my MMPOS account, and just looking at the temps of all the different rigs. Fans are getting up there at 77 and 63. I've had the target temp is set at 65, and pretty much all of them, I believe. Yeah, it says target temp -1, but it's pretty much 65 across the board is what they should be trying to achieve as far as that goes. And you can see something like the 3060s and the 3070s. They're all fairly low as far as fan speeds at 30. I think I had the minimum set at. This one's just barely above it at 35. 2080s do run hot, and a lot of those cards do need to be repatted and repasted. So those are definitely running on the warmer side. Let's see. Yeah, actually, most of them are pretty good except for this guy. This one definitely probably needs to be repatted and repasted, which I did kind of notice even when I first got them. I admit I was lazy. I just wanted to get them up and running, so I pretty much just threw them in an octominer and had them. Actually, when I first got them, they were mining flux, which these things hammer on flux. You can get like 100 souls out of them on flux, but so I was using them on that for when I first got them, but they've been bouncing around a whole bunch of different stuff. Mostly on like Dynex and stuff recently, because the 20 series do pretty well on Dynex as far as that goes, as far as hash rates and stuff, because 2070s are on there as well. But the 2070s are actually, they're in the house. The 3070 Ti's are in the basement. Those things run super cool just because my basement's nice and cold. Because like a lot of the cool air from the upstairs eventually makes its way down there, and there's no windows or open anything down there, so it's nice and cool down there. So they run quite well. I was also thinking of my CPU rigs, moving them out into the shed, since I have room in the top shelf. Make it right now. I have the 25900s on a Veta frame. I don't know if it's a 6 GPU or an 8 GPU Veta frame, but either way, I have the it kind of rigged up on there with some like plexiglass sheeting and stuff just to mount the motherboards to and stuff like that. Thinking about moving them out into the shed as well, because currently they're in the living room, which is pretty much right in front of me over here, because basically my computer and stuff like that is actually in my living room. Yep, been single for a while, so nobody complaining. 4 monitor setup, which I have pretty much. I had it set up for like when I was doing some day trading and stuff like that, so I could have the monitors here, TVs there, so I could kind of watch CNBC and that type of stuff. So, but anyway, going to set up a proper studio, I guess you want to call it. It's either going to be in the room back here, where the 2070s are actually at, or maybe even just move it into the basement. Basement might be better. Could be quieter, cooler out. Just I don't know if you could hear it. I did have to close some windows and stuff just because the neighbor's out cutting the grass and they could hear the tractor running and stuff. So I didn't want to have that as far as background noise. So, but anyway, yeah. So it's an option as far as it looks like my 3900 is getting a little warm, 81 degrees. So maybe I'll have to turn down the voltage on that a little bit or something. 3700X looks like it's running good, but wouldn't mind getting them out into the shed or maybe even just into the basement. Probably just to the basement will probably be even good. But if I had them in the shed, I can monitor power because I don't have a, or I'll have to pick up a new device to, cause I think TP-Link has one now that you can monitor and have the energy reports emailed to you. Because the WeMo devices that I currently use on all my 110 outlets, you can't get them anymore. They don't make them. They were kind of nice because you could actually have it set up and scheduled emails every month, week, daily, whatever you want. Daily would be quite excessive. It gets super annoying with all the emails. Even weekly, it adds up. So I had everything switched to monthly. And could probably even turn that off because now at the latest update in that app, you could actually export now and select the date range that you want to export. So anyway, squirrel. Went off a little tangent there, but the main thing was basically to talk about the temps as far as the different rigs and stuff like that. So even getting warm out, shed's doing well. Rig temps are doing well, other than a few cars that could use some maintenance, which I probably should do here at some point. I have a bunch of vacation days at work that I need to take, so I've got we're already first weekend into May, starting the second week of May already. And I have like 18 days or so, 17 days or something like that to use yet. So, and don't have any vacations planned. So I might have to start burning some of those days and maybe use them for GPU maintenance. Just because, especially the 2080s, pretty much every single one of those needs to be broken down, torn apart, repad it, repaste it, all that stuff. So, and I think if I remember correctly, I did some research on them as far as a lot of them use different size pads and thickness, and they're a pain in the ass to take apart. So I think that's why I said F it and just didn't do it and just slapped them into an Octominer. So, but as far as what reminding and stuff like that, everything's pretty much the same. Dynex Unmineable. You see there's 4 rigs there. Pyrin Unmineable. The Alcoin Solo. Let's actually hop in here. Yeah, it's looking. Basically, I need 3 more blocks. This one to mature plus 3 more, and then I will be a Meowcoin millionaire. And then I'm going to swap those rigs off to something else, more than likely, from looking at hashrate.no. 1660s are still, I'm going to refresh this. Yep, so more than likely, 1660 Ti's will be going to Dynex to Unmineable. And then 3070s are more than likely going to be Pyrin. Probably what I'm going to do. I don't know if I want to crank him away on chlor. I wouldn't mind having some more chlor, but I don't know. We'll see about that. But it's a little warm out to mine Kapow. So then I may run into some heat issues out in the shed. So could do Neoxa to Unmineable. And then Flux is actually up here. Could probably even do Flux to Unmineable too. or Zelhash, because 3070s do pretty well on Zelhash. Dynex is down here. Pyrin's way down the list. Still profitable, but Dynex is better. Yeah, Flux actually might be the way to go. We'll see. We'll see what it is once I hit that million. So, like I said, I got 3 more blocks to hit there. The CPUs are all on Cryptex mining Zephyr. Basically, I had the payout set to 1 Zephyr. And then this is the 1 Sol 3070 rig that is on Ironfish. This is approaching a payout, I should say. So once that gets to 10, I'll get a payout there as well. Should get an iNodes update. Give this a refresh. Yep, so sitting on 314,000 on Neoxa right now in iNodes. I have about 5 to 7 in the wallet now, because I did receive a node payout, and then I did swap some USDT that I had on TradeOgre to Neoxa, and I just withdrew that not that long ago. Now it's 4,500-ish, somewhere around there. So we'll have some there. And then actually let's get an update on Unmineable. Looks like we got 8,000 or so here. Yep, that was the most current. So you see 10, 22, 10, 10. And then just on the 7th, around 1:30, I withdrew 20,000. That was just yesterday. So 24 hours later, we got around 8,000 more or so. And I did have some rig downtime a little bit as well. So we're still hammering away on getting that second node, but rigs are temp-wise are still doing good. That's pretty much the primarily. Oh, the other thing I wanted to talk about, we are going to have a new difficulty adjustment tomorrow. I forget what is New Head, something like, I think that was the website. There we go. New Hedge IO difficulty estimator. I seen BBT had this on his one live stream and stuff like that, and it's a pretty cool site as far as like difficulty adjustments blocks as they're going along. So that's how many blocks are left in this epoch, and so roughly tomorrow at 7:30 in the morning ish ballpark range, there's going to be a difficulty adjustment. Looks like it's going to drop 5.79 to 5.78%. So I will reevaluate the different miners and stuff like that. Probably won't do anything different with the J Pro 104 and the K Pro 120. I'll probably leave them just the way they're sitting, because right now the K Pro sitting at 110. Power jumped up a little bit just because the temps have increased a little bit, so it is running a little bit warmer, so the power increase, that does happen. You'll notice the same thing will happen. Sorry, the flashbang is here. But the power on this one's up to about 1,800 watts or so now, and efficiency got bad. This was in the 22, 23 range if you've seen some of my previous videos. So as the temps go up, you see the power usage goes up and the efficiency tanks. So, but when temps were low, the efficiency of that thing was pretty impressive. So not so much right now. It kind of sucks right now. So, but is what it is. 1,800 watts, and as the temps will start to drop throughout the day as the day goes on. It's probably going to keep rising for another hour or two and before they start to drop again, but I'll just leave that thing hammering away, and it is what it is. I'll just eat it for a little bit, so because difficulty is going to adjust tomorrow and stuff like that, so we'll reevaluate stuff once that happens, and hopefully we can keep them going and stacking some Bitcoin. I still don't think it's going to be enough to turn the 120J Pro Plus back on, but I'll check it out, see what it works like. The other thing I was going to try too, since I put the Brains control board in the 104, I still have the Xilinx board with Brains OS on it that I could give Brains OS a try on the J Pro Plus and see if that works out any better than the Epic control board. Just to see if I could get more efficiencies out of that, and if I can maybe get the watts lower to maybe somewhere around 1,500, 1,600 watts or so. I don't know. We'll see. because on the EP control board, it'll only allow you to go down to 60 terahash, and it'll still using like 2,000 watts or something like that, which is crazy. Definitely, it was not efficient at all. So even on this 104, 1650 was I think 1600 was the lowest watt setting you could do, and it was still a higher hash rate. So, but that's more tinkering and play around that I could do, and so we'll catch that in maybe a next future video, maybe a future live stream. 'Cause I have an idea for another live stream coming up in the future. I'll announce that once I get everything in hand. We'll do some testing and stuff with the CMP 100 210s. I'm getting the cases and stuff for those. So once I get everything up and running and get them put together and out in the shed, we'll do a live stream or something like that and play around with that, and we'll test some oval clocks, because I'm definitely going to be referencing oval vortex video to get the different settings and stuff for those, just because never used them before. So it should be interesting, but they are pretty efficient cards. So that will be in a video in the future. So like I said, until the next one, we'll catch you later.